part one, go back and watch it now. All right, we talked about how Trump's $500 billion Stargate AI project, no matter how well-intentioned, is building the infrastructure for global surveillance and control. It's the brain of the beast, a massive artificial intelligence system designed to run everything. CBDCs, smart cities, digital IDs, social credit scores. But today, in part two, we're gonna go deeper. Because now the system is no longer just watching you from the outside. Now it wants inside of your body, under your flesh. I'm talking about the Internet of Bodies, IOB, the next terrifying step in their control grid. Microchips under the skin, smart pills that report when you swallow them, brain caps that read your thoughts, wireless patches that transmit your heart rate and emotional state 24/7. And this is no longer science fiction. This is happening right now. Today, we expose who's pushing this and why it connects directly to Stargate AI, and also how it fits perfectly with the Bible's warning in Revelation 13, no one may buy or sell unless they have the mark. Once your body is online, you are no longer just a person. You are a programmable device, and they own the firmware. Most people just don't realize it yet, but your body will be a part of the internet. Open source tools now exist that can already decode brainwaves, right? I mean, spoof device IDs. They can already sync real-time health data. They can clone biometric patterns like heartbeat or even just motion. You're not just a user anymore. You're a data stream, an endpoint, an interface. Why? Surveillance capitalism. Sold through rose-colored glasses as to, what the benefits are. People like money. And there is money in surveillance data. Money in big data. Like I said, it's the new oil. Surveillance capitalism, okay. But it will one day be used to control the world, giving way to what is called the beast system. And there's already real-world examples. It's already happening. Let me show you a few. In Sweden, thousands chipped for payment systems. And this is literally like these articles we're going to laugh at one day. Because it's like whenever you watch these old news programs from the 90s, and they're like, what is the internet? Who's going to use this thing, right? And these articles are going to be so elementary one day. But yeah, in Sweden, thousands chipped for payment systems. In 20 years, people are going to be like, okay, that was so old school. Look what we have right now. But in China, the COVID QR health codes required for public life. In the US, digital vaccine passports were quietly tested with airlines. DARPA's next generation non-surgical neurotech, the N3 project, they've created wearable skullcaps that can read brain activity. They are moving from wearable tech to embedded mind-reading technology. And the biblical tie-in, as we know, is the mark of the beast technology. Revelation 13, he causes all to receive a mark, and no one can buy or sell unless they have the mark without it, because you're going to be locked out of buying groceries, locked out of society, locked out of survival. And the kicker is, the mark isn't just on the surface. It will be in your mind. I think it'll be in your heart. It'll be just total allegiance. It's a system where body, mind, and soul are scanned and scored. And so if we connect the dots, so to connect Stargate AI, the Stargate project, I think that it is a part of, you could even say that it equals the beast brain. And the Internet of Bodies is the sensory system feeding it. You will be scanned without consent, tracked without knowledge, predicted without mercy. And it is not about safety. It is about total and complete possession. And it's so naive to think that we will be able to, keep going and people will just be able to opt out later. That's not the case. The end times are here. I don't believe that they're just some time down the road. They are here, and I believe many of us on earth right now living will either be marked by the Lamb or marked by the beast. It is time to stay awake, people. It is time to stay human. And more importantly than anything else, it is time to stay close to Jesus. I want to kind of move to a same type of topic, but kind of a different mode of operation here. I'm going to be talking about silver, the precious metal silver, because this all has to deal with, and because I do this, but I am also I'm a businessman. I do some real estate on the side and some other things, and I think we're going to watch out. I think that we're going to watch out for what silver is going to do. And I want to let you know that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I've got to cover my butt there. But I want to talk to you about energy. So go ahead and put this on the screen, Andrew. This would be a summary. An all-digital control grid and AI use extraordinary amounts of energy. One article in Bloomberg predicted that Texas would need 30 new nuclear power plants to support data centers by 2030. AI plus CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, plus digital ID, that will equal unprecedented power demand. We can't get it yet. You can't run global surveillance. You can't run real-time biometric verification. You can't run predictive AI godheads without an immense power supply. And that's as the article said, that's why Texas might need the energy output of 30 reactors by 2030 just to keep up with the data centers. So the translation of that, this isn't just about convenience or tech, it's about who controls the power to run the system. No power equals no access. Next little point of topic I want to discuss, energy policy. So President Trump's drill baby drill energy policy is focused on significantly increasing domestic energy resources. There's the article, President Trump, drill baby drill. So Trump's energy plan, I would like to think that it's about sovereignty and survival. Because the drill baby drill isn't just, it's just not an economic policy. It's a national security strategy. And if the U.S. doesn't control its own energy for this new age that we have moved into, it can't control its own destiny in this digital world. And that's why it's kind of like two-pronged. Like, we've got to build it to make sure that we're the biggest and best and not other countries can't, control the world. But what we're building is also horrible. It's kind of like the nuclear race to build the bombs, right? And so Donald Trump's January 20th, 2025 executive order unleashing Alaska, declaring a national energy emergency, and unleashing American energy are, I believe, preemptive strikes against technocratic dependence. Now, what do I mean by that? Energy demands of all digital monetary system, big tech has been open about its desire for additional sources of energy. And there's the article, Big Tech wants to become an independent nuclear power. Big tech wants its own reactors. That does not make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Bloomberg and other outlets have hinted at this. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they aren't just energy consumers. They want to own the grid. And private nuclear plants mean that they can bypass national policies, at least as if they did it right now. And they could run their global infrastructure no matter what government is in charge. That alone should terrify anyone who values national sovereignty over consumer rights. Next part, and then I'm going to get to silver, and I just think something crazy is going to happen with it. Executive orders and actions, unleashing energy emergency, unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential, unleashing American energy, and declaring a national energy emergency. Just 3 more things I wanted to put on the screen. Now let me get to what I want to say. I think that the silver setup, why, and I got to say it right now, like I am not selling silver. I don't sell anything, actually. I am not trying to convert your savings into silver. I'm just looking at what is happening and making a projection of what I think is going to happen next. All right? The silver setup, why you'd be nuts to ignore this. Why silver could explode, and I believe it's legit. I don't think it's hype, because I've seen so much hype over the years. Oh my gosh. All right, so number 1, why silver could explode. Industrial demand is about to go nuclear. Silver isn't just for coins and jewelry, all right? Everything we've talked about these last couple of shows, silver, it's the lifeblood of the new world they are building. Do you understand that? Like silver is in all, they have to have silver in all of these things we've been discussing, from AI chips to solar panels to EVs to the 5G and 6G towers, smart cities. They all run on silver. For what they're wanting to do, solar alone could eat up 20 to 25% of the global silver supply by 2030. And here's the kicker, okay? Silver gets used up. It's not, it doesn't get recycled like gold. Mining can't keep up, and it won't. Global production is flat or falling. Why? Because silver is mostly a byproduct of other metals. So what does that mean? Hey, I'm just trying to set you guys up. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to set you all up, just trying to help you all out. So if and when, right, demand spikes, supply can't just scale. That's a bottleneck. That's rocket fuel. And everything they are announcing, $500 billion into AI, all these things, what China, I mean, though it's not just America that's trying to build this. This new technology world, it's going to be built through, it's the fastest conductor. That's the only way it can be built, is through the precious commodity of silver. And it's stupid cheap compared to gold. The gold to silver ratio right now is somewhere around like 80 to 1. And as we know, historically it has been closer to like 15 to 1. And I will say, if that, obviously if that ratio begins to normalize, silver could multiply like crazy. But then we have inflation plus chaos, which equals silver's time to shine. We know that the dollar is dying. Inflation is baked in. Debt is out of control. Yes, gold is the safe haven, but silver is the double threat. It's a hard asset, and unlike gold, it's an industrial necessity. And I'm not here to say that that silver's going to go to thousands. I'm just saying, I think it'd be smart to have a little. Silver's going to 1,000, right? We've all heard that before, right? Fair. That is what the doubters would say. But this time we're not talking about fear. We're actually talking about infrastructure. Oh, but silver, it's so volatile. It's so manipulated. Yeah, it is. It's a small market. And yes, big players can move it because of that. But that also means that when it does break out, it breaks out hard. The doubters, well, supply can be substituted. Yeah, that's true for now. Recycling and alternatives can exist, but not at scale. Once demand outpaces tricks and substitutions, prices could spike fast. Then we have AI, energy, and silver. It equals the mega trend. Powering the grid equals powering demand. The all-digital future can't function without silver. AI supercomputers, the CBDCs, data centers, renewable energy, they all rely on silver. It's the only metal that serves both power generation and information transfer. Another point, this is the demand shock we've been waiting for. The fundamentals were already strong for it, but now I think we're in a perfect storm. And I don't usually talk like this on my program, you know that. Maybe every 20 shows I talk about precious metals, but it is in my brain, and I just think that this is a good time to talk about it, considering the world is going to change like never before, and it's going to take silver to get there. I said the fundamentals were already strong, but now we're in a perfect storm. AI, we have the AI arms race, digital currency rollout, energy grid transformation, private nuclear power moves by big tech. That's not hype. That's a geopolitical realignment of demand. If gold is the store of value, then silver is the engine. My opinion, people, just my opinion. If you want to ride the next big financial shift, just my opinion. What do I know? I just don't think you should. I don't think you should just look at gold. And I don't even own any gold because I'm too poor to own it. So maybe take that into a factor. What does Zach know about gold? He doesn't even own it. I don't have enough money to own gold. But silver is what makes the whole machine move. This is no longer about coins in a vault. It's about controlling the technology and the technology of tomorrow. So why this should light a fire under you? Well, no, it doesn't have to hit $500 to change your, financial future. Even $60 to $90 an ounce for silver, that's a 3x from today. And that's if the system doesn't collapse. So whenever I look at things, I always look at the risk and reward. Risk reward here it's nearly unmatched in today's market. While Wall Street chases bubbles, silver is quietly becoming one of the most critical assets on Earth. And so I'll say this, silver is no longer just a hedge. It's the wiring of the control grid and the lifeline if it all goes down. If the beast system is built, which we're there, we might as well, does this not sound Christian of me? We might as well make some money, right? I mean, if the beast system is, the Bible talks about the greatest transfer of wealth from the hands of the wicked, right? And so if the beast system is built, which it's going to be built, it cannot be built if it's going to be built on the back of technology in a world where silver demand does not explode. And if the systems collapse, well, then then silver preserves wealth. So you have both sides. This isn't just a maybe, I believe it is a must. Listen, I don't talk about precious metals very often, but I just thought, like I said, this is a perfect time to do it. I'm going to end today's show. So I've been filming for almost So almost a whole hour. So part 2 was supposed to be 1 show, but it ended up being 2 shows. So this was supposed to be a 3-part miniseries. I guess it's going to be a 4-part. So I filmed in an hour. So that was last week. Now we're into the next week. So next week, if you're watching this, is now going to be the special interview with my friend, Josh Peck, and we are going to be talking about some absolutely wild things to kind of finish up this miniseries: quantum portals, fallen ones, and the rise of the digital beast dragon. Please stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. And once again, just remember, if you want to help us out, please go to zachdrewshow.com and click that bright orange donate button and become a monthly partner with the ministry. You can also give the old-fashioned way. Zach Drew Show, P.O. Box 797, Decatur, Illinois, 62525. Hey, thanks for all tuning in. You're not going to want to miss next week's program with Josh Peck. We'll see you then. I've been talking to you guys for the last few months that we have big ideas. And I felt like the Lord had been putting in me these big ideas. And then out of the blue, I get a call from Andrew. Not going to go into the call yet, but I'll just say that the Lord has been moving upon his heart. Without any discussion from me, it's the Lord doing it. What we have in mind, it seems absolutely impossible. We've done a couple of absolutely impossible things. I remember one time we were back in the den and we were trying to do a $2,500 fundraiser, and we raised like $500. We're trying to raise $2,500 for some basic equipment, raise like $400 or $500, and it's just crazy. And it's all in the Lord's timing, because then I felt the Lord start to move. It would have been about a year later. And I said, guys, I feel like we are supposed to move out to on this property. It was a garage with 3 garage doors. And I said, I feel like the Lord is telling us to expand and move. And I said, I know this sounds like a completely impossible goal. Was it 10,000? The original goal?
The original was 10,000.
And I said, we'd done a $2,500 fundraiser and raised 500. And I felt the Lord moving upon and I said, guys, I think we're supposed to raise $10,000 a bare minimum.
Which felt impossible.
Totally and completely impossible. By the end of that week, over $20,000 had come in. By the end of that fundraiser, $80,000 had come in. When the Lord wants to move, he is going to move the mountains. And so it was like we had this idea for equipment. And then we hit the $25,000 mark, and we're like, now it's this equipment. Then the $50,000 mark, then this equipment. And then when we hit the $75,000 plus, we're like, oh my gosh, we are going to be able to get equipment made for nationally syndicated television.
We are today running with the equipment that we bought in 2020. We're
exactly.
still running with that equipment.
And I believe the Lord is doing something. He's setting us up. He brought people to IGBY, took them away, preparing them for even what's to come. And that's where we are today. That's where we are in this season. And we're going to have to raise over $100,000. And there's another way to do it. It would be, because we have to raise, I don't know if I'm just supposed to tell right now. I feel like the Lord is in this right now, but we're going to have to raise a total of almost $120,000. And it's like, why so much? Because that will buy us 2 years of time to build this thing. It's like, well, why don't just raise 1 year? Because I don't want to get halfway through and have to stop.
Yeah.
And another way to do it would be to raise about $5,000 to $6,000 in monthly recurring giving. It's an impossible thing. But we have such a plan of more shows, more content, and a completely different show. You see I don't know if you see it in the wide shot, you probably can't, Andrew's body is hiding it. My Victor Wembanyama autographed jersey. I'm a huge sports guy, love sports. I'm telling you right now that whether you love sports or not, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, love sports and love politics. I'd love to do a show called, in addition to this, in addition to another show for the Zach Drew Show, I'd like to do an entirely different show. It's a working title, but called Packs and Politics, where we literally rip open the new packs of NBA cards. Sounds kind of maybe goofy to you, not to us. And politics, because they're interested in politics. Even Gen Z, did you see the last election? Gen Z is waking up and they're conservatives. Trying to provide a fun atmosphere with sports, trying to provide analysis, good, deep analysis that they can't get anywhere else through politics. So good and so fun that it keeps them coming back, that they're just gonna have to suffer through the gospel message being preached every show. See, the bait is the sports and politics. The hook is the gospel message. To reach a wandering generation, to reach this generation at all, you've got to meet them where they're at. And good news for me, I am a millennial, and I already love those things. And the Lord has been preparing me for those things. But we cannot do it without your generation, without your sacrifice, without the Lord moving so deeply upon your heart for a lost generation. We invest so much money into our 401ks in the stock market, trying to get our 6 to 8% ROI, when the Lord says, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy. Because the treasures of earth, they rot away. Moth and rust destroy them. Our life, we are given a few opportunities in life to give into spiritual soil, to reap an eternal ROI. What is the ROI on the spirit realm? Well, the Lord talks about a 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold return. To raise $100,000 to $120,000 is impossible to two millennials sitting here. But we have a vision, and the Lord has been upon this from the beginning. And we're in a new season, and we've got to have some radical partnerships. If you want to do this, do it now. Go to ZachDrewShow.com right now and partner with us. You are the backbone of this. You can give the old-fashioned way, Zach Drew Show, P.O. Box 797, Decatur, Illinois 62525. Give that way. Give a check to sow into soil that will reap eternal, forever, eternity rewards.